Hey guys, so today we have a video for you guys that involves Noam Chomsky, the god of the left. Nah, not the god of the left, but one of the main faces that a lot of leftists like to look
It's
up
a
to,
very
right?
wise old man.
Whatever, okay. So, I guess this video obviously comes from the Intercept, which happens to be an online news show, right? And here we're gonna see Medhi Hasan, this reporter, having an interview with Noam Chomsky that merely discussed the topic of, should we vote for Biden or not, and what's wrong if you don't. So let's watch
You
this.
say it's time to get rid of the malignancy in the White House. What do you then make of this very boisterous, very online, never Biden movement that we're seeing from some on the left, from some former Bernie people, including his own former national press secretary, some left-wing social media stars? What do you make of the never Biden movement?
Well, it also brings up some memories. The early 30s in Germany, the Communist Party, following the Stalinist line at the time, took the position that everybody but us is a social fascist. So there's no difference between the Social Democrats and the Nazis. So therefore, we're not going to join with the Social Democrats to stop the Nazi plague. But we know where that led. Okay, there are many other cases like that, and I think we're seeing a rerun of it. So let's take the position, never Biden. I'm not going to vote for Biden. There is such a thing. There's a thing called arithmetic. We can debate a lot of things, but not arithmetic. Failure to vote for Biden in this election in a swing state amounts to voting for Trump. Takes one vote away from the opposition, same as adding one vote to Trump. So if you decide you want to vote for the destruction of organized human life on Earth, for the sharp increase in threat of nuclear war, for stuffing the judiciary with young lawyers who will make it impossible to do anything for a generation, then do it openly. Okay, so yeah, that's what I want. But that's the meaning of never Biden.
So there you guys have it. Noam Chomsky saying what a lot of establishment media people and Democrats are saying. A vote for Biden is vote for Donald Trump and the destruction of the world. Do you agree with that assessment, Kenneth?
No. No, I do not agree with that assessment.
Why not, man? It seems like pretty clear.
So first thing first, like when it comes to what he was saying, a lot of things were right about that, but a lot of things were also, I guess, in my opinion, wrong. So the whole Nazi thing, yeah, okay, that's right. But the whole is taking one vote away from opposition. Yeah, that's true too, right? But it's also taking a vote away from Trump, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like everyone else says. It's like what's happening here is that people are taking a specific slice of history and they're just looking at it under a microscope, right? That's fine, right? Sometimes it makes sense, right? So you say, hey, you know, they did it. That one party didn't think anything. The Communist Party didn't think the Social Democrats were any different from the Nazis or the National Socialists. And so we all know how that went. Yeah, but you gotta look at why the Nazis got in power in the first place, right? It's because of people not doing their job. Like, you know what I'm saying? People who like to promise things, or not even promise things, but just play it up. And then when they get elected, they don't do anything. Or they do the exact opposite, or they crush the working class. In this case, in the German case, it was the Treaty of Versailles. It was crushing the Germans. There was really no way out except kind of, accepting it. But they could have done things for jobs. They could have done things for the people itself, but they didn't. They didn't do anything. So people said, "Hey, we're gonna give power to the Nazis." So that's how you got the Nazis in the power in the first place, and then and then from getting the Nazis in the power, that's how you end up getting, that scenario where you have, one party being in a position where they can just they in a position where that analogy starts to make sense, right? Or that comparison makes sense. It's not an analogy where it is the same. Where they're saying, hey, they're no different from the Nazis, so the Nazis got power. But the fact that they were in that position in the first place is the bad part as well. And so I would say it's kind of similar in this sense where, yeah, okay, let's say we get Trump out of office, right? Yeah, and then what? You see the problem, like, and I think that's the
Yeah.
problem that we address. Like, and then what? We get him out of office, and then what? Okay, cool, right? And then he goes back. Then Biden goes back to the exact same stuff that he said he was going to do. Biden explicitly stated that he wasn't going to change anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it's just like, then what?
That's
Yeah, everyone
actually
continues to fight downhill. Then you end up in a situation where you end up with someone just as bad as Trump or as worse as Trump as worse or worse than Trump because you end up in a situation where the now they see the side of the coin again, which is Joe Biden. Nothing happens. Their situation doesn't improve. They don't get better pay. They don't get better jobs. And then they say, "Hey, screw this guy," and then some other crazy person comes in, and then what's gonna happen? Oh, we need to get this guy off it. It's gonna be how many times is that scenario gonna have to play out before people just say, "Yeah, maybe you're the crazy one instead. I'm not gonna listen to
yeah,
you. You
yeah,
said that last."
yeah.
And like that's the part that nobody is addressing when they say get Trump out of office.
Yeah, it's a never-ending circle. I mean, like, let's say, let's look at what happened in 2016, right?
Right.
They made the same argument. They like, we cannot let someone like Trump win. Let's unite and vote against Donald Trump. 95%, even though there was some opposition to voting for Hillary Clinton because she was a bad candidate and she didn't really care about anything else besides winning against Donald Trump, which is BS. We united against her. 95% of Bernie Sanders supporters voted for Hillary Clinton. She ended up winning the popular vote, but because of her shitty campaign and not actually going to the states needed, like for example, she didn't go to Wisconsin and campaign there. She actually said, "Look, that state actually went for Barack Obama. More likely they're gonna vote for me. I don't have to go campaign over there." She didn't campaign. Donald Trump came in, campaigned there for days, and he won that state. We could say that about every other state that he won that day, and that's how he ended up winning the electoral college, and he became president of the United States. So, is that our fault?
No, I
No,
mean, but
no.
that's what I'm saying. It's just it's like Hitler got to power. That's a story I've told probably like many times. I'll tell you again. Hitler got to power because the people of Germany felt that Hitler did not. I mean, that everyone but Hitler didn't care about the German people. That's how they felt. They felt that every other politician hated him. They weren't going to help him, and that they were so desperate that they say even though this guy Hitler is crazy, even though this guy Hitler is ridiculous and his plans are dumb and they don't make any sense, then at least he cares about the German people. Let's give him a chance. And then you saw how that happened. Like they gave him a chance, and the rest is history. And you see the same thing happen with politicians right now. No one feels like the government likes them. No one feels like the politician like them. No one feels like they're going to help them in any way, shape, or form. And so even though Trump comes out here, his politics are crazy, the wall is crazy, because let's not make a mistake, Trump is crazy. He is completely outlandish. His ideas make no sense. He's corrupt as hell. Everyone knows that. But they said, hey, even though this guy is ridiculous, let's give him a chance. And then the crazy stuff happened. Because it's funny
Yeah,
because everyone says the same stuff like, oh, we didn't think you could actually deport all the legal Hispanic people.
yeah.
And it's
Or
just
build a
like,
wall.
or build a wall. And it's like, that's the same thing they said in Germany when Hitler started persecuting Jews, because you left them no option. Like you left them no other option but to vote for this guy who was ridiculous. Because every politician who sounded like Obama who sounded like Clinton, who sounded like Bush, who sounded like Clinton, the first one, who sounded like H.W. Bush, all of them, all right, did not care about the American people. And so they said, hey, let's give the crazy guy a chance. He might be crazy, but at least he cares about us. Oops, look at that. He did some crazy stuff. We all knew, we didn't think he was going to go that crazy. Of course it went that. And yeah, that is a history lesson that should be learned. But the thing that also needs to be learned is why the people being put in that position in the first place are just going to keep doing the same thing because they're desperate. So they're going to keep doing desperate things. And so let's say you do beat Trump this year, like I said, this election. Let's say you do beat Trump. Biden comes out, does nothing because he said he was going to do nothing, and then you get an even worse Trump, right? And then he comes out because you see it now that Trump is elected. You see all these billionaires magically think, right, that they're good enough to be president now, right? You get what I'm saying? Like all these billionaires say, "Hey, I could be Trump because I'm a billionaire like Trump." It's just like, okay, cool story. So how long until you end up with like a dictator or someone who has dictatorial tendencies, right? Or authoritarian tendencies or severe authoritarian tendencies, I should say. And it's just gonna keep spiraling down until the problem gets fixed. So when it comes to Noam Chomsky, like yeah, he's right, but no one ever addresses the reason why we got where everyone is in that position in the first place.
Yeah, and I agree with 100% that obviously history tends to repeat itself, and how one huge dictator might get to power, and how we might be helping that to happen. But at the end of the day, you know, most people who also is making the argument that we should follow the establishing Democrats is not strong of enough an argument, not just for the people who are saying never Biden from, the Bernie Sanders side, but also for the independents who are the ones who had to vote on the general election in November. They're the ones who's like, you know what, fuck Biden, and so they're gonna go with Donald Trump, even though they know what they are, what Donald Trump means. What Donald having another 4 years Donald Trump means, because they already lived through the 4 years of Donald Trump. They had, obviously every other network or every news network, every entertainment network was covering this guy in a daily basis. All the bad things he kept saying, all the bad things he kept doing. He almost got us in World War III against the beginning of this 2020 year, and then the COVID-19 happened, and the way he handled that, and obviously the other things that he's trying to do. He tried to obviously go out a war with Venezuela, China, with Iran, all these countries, right? Like naming one by one, but that doesn't mean that the Biden people are not gonna do the same. Actually, Warren voted in favor of. Oh no, she stood up in favor of attacking Venezuela, right?
Right, but on top of that, if you take a look at it, the hate against Venezuela, against Iran, against China, this all started before Trump even got into office.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so like right,
It even was a huge problem during the Obama administration.
right. No, these guys were fear mongering about Iran, uh, China, and Venezuela before Trump even got into office.
And
So
Russia.
he did it in Russia, and so to say that Trump actually did something, it's like well he wouldn't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have had to worry about that if you didn't give it such an easy scapegoat to begin with, right? So like you fear mongered everyone to hate against Iran, to sanction Iran, right? And then you have a president that comes in. We all know he watches Fox News left and right. He comes in and says, "Hey, guess what? I see that Iran is a problem. I'm gonna do something about Iran." And now everyone's screaming, "Why are you doing something about Iran?" Simple, because you told them that Iran was bad. You've been saying it for years. So why did you expect that one day someone was gonna get enough power to then attack that country? Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
I don't know. Like, he's literally doing what all they've been doing for
Right.
years. It's just that they never did it in a way so
Yeah, it's because
direct like Donald Trump has done.
right, exactly. It's like I said, with the whole immigration reform. They've been saying immigration reform since I was a kid, like literally a kid. I was 9 years old. They were talking about immigration reform. I'm 27 now, so it's like, and they're still talking about immigration reform. And so, like, if you didn't do immigration for like the last, what was it, 18 years, right? Now that someone is in office saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do something about immigration reform," why are you complaining that he's gonna do something about immigration reform? I mean, like, how many times have you heard, "Oh, terrorists come from the Mexican border, even though they didn't"? Drug dealers. I think in the Obama years, they said, was it Ted Cruz, or I forgot which senator said they had calves the size of cantaloupes.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I think it was
Yeah,
someone like that, Cruz.
right. And they said that in the Obama years. And so it's just like now that you've put all this fear and hate mongering on top of it, now they're complaining that he's doing something about the very thing that they were complaining about for the last 18 plus years. And so it was just like and it goes on and on. It's like the issues that he's so crazy and enraged on are a lot of issues that they already started fear mongering about, already expressed interest in doing in the first place. Is that he's just out there doing it. That's it. Because it's not like Donald Trump came up with the whole climate change a hoax thing, right? Like Republicans been saying that for the last couple decades, right? So it's just like now that he's saying it out loud and being super aggressive with it, everyone wants to complain about it. But let's say we get Trump out of office, the next Republican is be just as bad, right? The next one is going to be just as crazy. And then you see like, oh, it's not in the Democratic Party. There's a lot of conservative Democrats that are saying some of these, that are echoing some of these crazy statements, do the same thing. Like what's his name, Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's VP, doesn't believe in abortion. He said it himself. And so it's like it's not a uniquely Republican thing. So you could just as easily end up electing a crazy Democrat. I'm not saying that Joe Biden is crazy. And I'm not saying that there are more crazy people on the Democratic side. In fact, I think there are less crazy people on the Democratic side. But the possibility is still there.
Yeah, yeah. Just like the other day, I think it was yesterday, an article came out that said that Biden is looking for establishment Republicans to be part of his cabinet, and obviously that has to tell you a lot, right? And obviously he has the whole Wall Street and private sector on his side, who are also gonna be part of his administration. And I mean, what's different from the Donald Trump's administration? It's very similar. And like you said before, they also did a bunch of moves towards doing neoliberal, or war like warhawk attacks towards other governments and other countries like Iran, obviously Venezuela, are the two of the main countries that are also moving forward with the huge sanctions. Right, it's nothing that we see new with Donald Trump, but he's just taking a step forward, and that step we could argue whether if it's too drastic or not. But it's not like it's not gonna happen with a Biden's presidency. It is
Right.
gonna happen. We're gonna, most established media are gonna just not care about it. They're just gonna ignore, and you're gonna see the same people like us bringing it up, and it's sad because like not a lot is gonna change if Biden gets elected.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
obviously they're gonna stop talking about Trump, right? But someone
Yeah,
else might come in his place later on.
yeah, no, everything. Yeah, what's gonna happen is that everything is gonna go hush. It's gonna go to the back into the dark. That's it. Now, when it comes to Biden, everything's gonna go back to the dark. Everyone's gonna be happy, and then what's gonna happen is they're gonna do the same thing they were already doing before, right? And next thing you know, another crazy person pops up, most likely worse than Trump, right? Somehow, some way, magically, they're never gonna know how because these people who are supposed to know how the system works somehow don't know how Trump got elected. Never know how, right? How these people get power. The next person could be worse than Trump, gonna come out, he's gonna say his crazy stuff. People gonna be like, you know what? Biden didn't give me anything. I'm gonna go with Trump. I'm gonna go with Trump 2.0. And he's gonna be 10 times worse. And before you know it, it's just gonna be he's gonna be all hell breaks loose, and then they're gonna be saying the same thing. This guy's crazy. We need to get him out of office. And it's just like, but you can't keep saying it forever. Like you can't keep saying it forever because even on that guy, they might well get him out of office, the second guy. But then you have to worry about the third one, and then the fourth one, and then the fifth one. And after a while, people just be like, okay, cool. You keep saying this guy is crazy, but the guy you tell me to vote for, he doesn't change anything anyway. So who's really the crazy one? and then you're gonna end up with a real Hitler.
Yeah. And this is something that obviously Democrats don't bring a lot because they don't even want to talk about it since it's something negative towards them. And it's gonna keep happening. You know what I mean? We're gonna have the same fucking argument over and over and over because people don't learn. People don't learn. Until actually a candidate brings it into the table and tells everyone, like we're telling you guys right now, then it's not gonna change. You get me? And that's the sad truth.
Even if a candidate does, it's still not gonna change. Like you're gonna have
But if
to.
you become like a populist, kind of like Bernie Sanders, and
It's still not gonna change. Like they're gonna fight it tooth and nail because there's a lot of money to be made, and they know it's a lot of money to be lost, and so they're gonna go out and they're gonna fight it to fight no more. Like Bernie Sanders wanted what a 1%, not only 1%, a 1 cent per trade tax, right? On Wall Street speculation, and they were like, "Nah, that's too much." Think about that for a second. What's it? I mean, Garrett's now it's per, but at the same time, it's just 1 cent. And they were like, nah, it's too much. So if 1 cent is too much, then what? What can you do? They're gonna fight everything. Like any small increase, even if it's like a 1, 2, 3% increase, they're gonna fight it. They're just gonna go crazy with it. And so even if you come out and talk about it, it's not gonna change. You pretty much have to you have to clean sweep it. You have to clean sweep the whole house, the whole Senate, and then from there you can start cleaning up everything. Or not, maybe not the whole, but the majorities, super majorities. You have to make sure you got people who serve your interests in both the House and the Senate, and then you can start cleaning up. Of course, you have to get money out of politics at first, in my opinion. But until that happens, they don't save me.
obviously I know what you're saying, but the only way to do it is obviously to create a huge movement that will take out people from districts, this go from the Senate, and then obviously build from there all the way to the top. And obviously it'll take a lot of time to do that, but we have to start doing it. Yeah, because that's the only way to actually clean the house, and it has to be from the outside, not from the inside.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I agree. But the thing is, like, gerrymandering is a strong tool, man. Gerrymandering is a strong tool. I mean,
I mean, I'm not
it,
saying that it's like
oh, it
doable.
was,
Or I mean,
oh no,
super 100% easy, but yeah, I understand. I mean,
you got
Alexander,
to flip people.
but I mean, saying like Alexander AOC was able to do it against a powerful incumbent from the Democratic Party. So it's possible. It's possible to do it. I mean, it's gonna be hard because now they're gonna see what we're doing and they're gonna try to battle us everywhere,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
So yeah, of course, because right now, AOC is getting primaried by a corporate Democrat. Yeah, because Democrats don't primary Democrats, right? Okay, apparently not. And so she's getting primary right now by a Wall Street candidate. Not even gonna say her name because she doesn't deserve any attention.
Rashida Tlaib as
Just
well.
huh? Yeah, they're both
Yeah,
Latino.
Rashida
And
Tlaib. Yeah,
okay.
and
Yeah, Rashida
uh,
Tlaib is also getting
Buddha
primary.
trying to, and then maybe later on, Ilhan Omar. They hate her too.
Right, right.
So
No, 'cause what they're trying to do is they're trying to get anybody who goes against the money out because they see that the squad, okay, it's the squad, and the reason they have a nickname is because people actually pay attention to them, unlike a lot of other politicians, and people actually like them, unlike a lot of other politicians. So they're trying to make sure that that seed gets stomped out right now. They started with Sanders, and then they're gonna go with the rest.
yeah, they're gonna go downhill, and it's like down the list. I was like, okay, next.
And their challengers have bad corporate money.
Yeah, and then what they're gonna do next after this, best believe they're gonna change all the rules in the DNC. They're gonna say we have to see who are the people who are gonna go for president, and we're gonna decide whether if we want them or not. Yeah, like we're gonna decide whether we let them run in the first place, because we can't have another one like Bernie Sanders, just like oh yeah, let him, because that's how he started 2016. Like, oh man, he's not gonna get shit, but let him. But now they're gonna change the rules. They're gonna say nope. We have to make sure that every candidate that goes out there doesn't go against our interests.
Exactly.
So there you guys have it. Let us think. What do you agree with what Noam Chomsky said? Both provided no matter what, we need to get rid of Trump If not, then also let us know down below what's your opinion, and make sure to also like this video and subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed yet. We're gonna be uploading more content soon. So until next one, anything else, Kenneth, you want to say? Trump
No.
2020? Okay, no.